This is our pumpkin patch, 5 weeks after planting. Let's zoom in and see what is growing. Got more little buds here that we know what to do with. And another bunch over here. But what's really interesting are the two big ones over here. This one and this one. According to the literature, I'm going to be pinching this stuff off because there's just too much going on, and it's going to compete for resources. So both leaves and little buds are going to need to go to make sure that there's some good pumpkins at the end. But here's the promise from the beginning. It's kind of amazing. 5 weeks in. It is Sunday, October the 6th, 7 weeks into our pumpkin patch. The pumpkins we thought were going to be our two biggest have died. In fact, the seed that had the most promise has been chopped off. Just as she agreed, it's got nothing now. Nothing's growing. The two pumpkins are dead, and nothing else was even left to try and thrive. The various growth that we thought were going to turn into pumpkins are actually simply flowers. There's a whole bunch of them. They bloom, they die, bees love them, they appear, they disappear. And there's a lot of that going on. In the meantime, here's our biggest hope at this moment for a possible pumpkin in the future. It's about 2/3 the size of a walnut at the moment. There's another little one along the same branch. So we shall see. We shall see. At the moment, it's all looking not so promising. Pretty, but in terms of actual real pumpkin, not much happening. It is October 12th. Tomorrow's 8 weeks since we started this little experiment, and cannot claim that it's going well. The seeds where I had lopped off the vines, just the center leaves are getting bigger and nothing much else is happening with them. Some dead flowers, and that's about it. But the two on the sides have something going on. That looks like a potential pumpkin somewhere. Of course, we've had a few of those before, and they have all died. The most recent of the death is over here at the other side that has a nice long vine going. Here's our latest little dead pumpkin, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's too cold. That's my best guess, is maybe it's too cold. But the same vine has a couple of things going here at the end, and I guess I am just gonna let that rip. Let's see where that goes. Maybe they all are bound for the same kind of fate as this guy, or maybe there's something that's gonna happen. But considering it's already October 12th, not a whole lot of hope. It is Sunday, October 20th. Our pumpkin patch is 9 weeks old. We have a couple of promising pumpkins that are beyond the size of a walnut and now about the size of a fist, which is rather exciting. Noteworthy that they are at the two extreme ends of the pumpkin patch, where there's room for them to do what they need to do. So the decision that I'm making now is that I'm going to cut out stuff in the middle where things are very crowded. The middle plant previously I really killed anyway. When I removed extra things, thinking my first two signs of pumpkins are going to turn into real pumpkins, I cut way back on that one plant, and it is doing absolutely nothing. It's unable to, because there's not flowers, there's nothing on it to hang on to. So I'm going to lop it off entirely. The other middle, I'm kind of thinking if there's more in the middle that I want to remove, if I really just want to leave the two on the ends. But I'll make the decision about the other middle next week. This week I'll just take the middle that clearly is not doing anything, hasn't done anything in many weeks. It is Sunday, October the 27th, 10 weeks into our pumpkin patch experience. We have a bit of a reason to be optimistic. Here is our biggest pumpkin to date. It's bigger than a coconut at this point. What would be, I guess, about the size of a cantaloupe at this point. The two little ones in the middle, one is dying, surely, slowly but surely. There it is, and it's going the way of most of our previous pumpkins. But the other little one actually is taking off and is now about the size of an apple. The one that had been our biggest and most promising a couple of weeks ago has slowed down. It's kind of a oddly shaped coconut at the moment. But yep, some reason to be optimistic. We do have 3 that are in progress, and the biggest of them is about the size of a cantaloupe. It is October 31st, and because we do live next to the trail, I wanted to make sure and document what our pumpkins look like these days. Here's the pumpkin next to my hand. I don't know if it will survive the night. We shall see. And there's the other 2. Not nearly as impressive, but still, not bad. It is Sunday, November the 3rd, 12 weeks into our pumpkin patch. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail today because we did film it October 31st thinking kids might kill everything. They didn't. Our pumpkin survived that, but we have potentially a bigger threat. We have mildew on our leaves, particularly on the one vine that has our biggest pumpkin. There's our biggest pumpkin that's about the size of a honeydew melon over here, but its leaves are all covered in this fungus that's very quickly killing the leaves. On October 31st, only one of the leaves was damaged. Now we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more or less dead, and all of them covered with something. So I'm about to treat it with a milk and water mixture, which is what YouTube recommended. And let's see how far we get. It is Thursday, November the 7th. A bit of bad news today. I'm noticing our youngest and smallest is getting some sort of decay on it. Perhaps this is how the pumpkins themselves express this fungal infection. I'm gonna go ahead and pick it today because of that. Because of this occurrence, I went ahead and checked the others, turned them around, and I think I now understand why our first one kind of stopped growing. Looks like it got some worms or something that had crawled into it when I turned it upside down. This was what the side below looks like, and yeah, it looks like somebody's been eating it from the inside. So I'll let that one go maybe a day longer just to get it kind of suntan on this side, but probably end up picking it this weekend or something. The good news is our best one is going strong. I went ahead and turned that one all the way around as well, and it's definitely more pale on the underside, but other than being more pale, it doesn't look any more damaged than that. So I think that one, knock on wood, will keep going, and yeah, we'll see what happens with the rest of them. Pumpkin patch, November 10th, Sunday, 12 weeks after planting. I think I might have said 12 weeks before, but it's actually incorrect. I was filming so often just then I lost track of weeks, but I went back and I checked, and we are at 12 weeks now. So the pumpkin I harvested, unfortunately, is continuing to decay. I had put it on the windowsill, and it only got worse sitting on the windowsill. I had put it on a plastic pillow things that came with Amazon, and probably the plastic was a big mistake. It was soft. It got flat over here lying on this side, so I thought put something that would be soft, but soft plastic, it just continued to decay, so not doing well at all. Our first one that we now know is being eaten inside by worms. Here it is, basically the same size. I went ahead and put the pretty side back up because frankly the ugly side is never going to get prettier, so let's just let the pretty side get orange is what I'm thinking. And our great yellow hope is right here. It is its ugly side up because I wanted to get sun on the ugly side. The ugly side had a leaf there that did some damage being pressed again, but everything is on cardboard now. As you can see, I'm trying to have a moisture barrier for all of these. And so yeah, we still have a honeydew melon. At this point, the goal really is not so much size as simply getting it ripe and pretty orange. It is Sunday, November the 17th, 13 weeks after planting. Our science experiment on the windowsill has become something truly, truly disgusting. I'm going to stick it in the freezer in a moment just as a memento. But yeah, nothing to brag about there. The very first one that got eaten up by worms, holding steady, getting dark. The second one also doing fairly well, just slowly getting darker, not getting bigger, still about the size of a honeydew melon. And what's interesting, the plant in the middle, whose pumpkin had become a little decaying science experiment, is trying to go for a new one. In fact, it's going for a few new ones. There's a couple of little ones and one that's now just a little bit bigger than the walnut. So it might be past the middle of November, but it thinks it can still, it thinks it can. So that's it. There's our pumpkin patch at 13 weeks, November 17th. It is Thursday, November the 28th, 14 and a half weeks into our pumpkin patch experiment. The very first of our pumpkins that got bigger than a walnut and has not grown in over a month was only eaten by worms, but also eaten by other critters. A few days ago, I discovered this on the bottom of the pumpkin. And so I picked that pumpkin, and it's been sitting on our windowsill for the last couple of days. Our biggest pumpkin also has not really changed in a while now. Just now I was trying to get raindrops off of it and picked it up by the vine, and boom, it broke right off. So good thing it was already the day I was going to pick it. There's our pumpkin. And of course, the vines that have no large pumpkins to support, they're trying to grow little baby pumpkins, and that is just so cute. Here's the one that a couple of days ago didn't have this. When I picked the worm and other critter eaten pumpkin, and just the last couple of days, boom, grew this. So life wants to live, but there is our pumpkins for submission. Still about the size of a honeydew lemon.